I've been listening to motivational speakers for a few decades now. And a lot of them talk about affirmations. And I bought into it a long time ago, and I wrote some stuff down, and then after like a couple years, I'm like, this is bullshit. So I gave it up. Then a couple years later, I found like my list of affirmations, and they had all come true. Everything that I wrote down, that I said, that wasn't even true, had came to fruition. So we take, I'm a published author. I mean, I started thinking about that and writing that. That was like 1998. Wrote it down. So, I'm a student. I'm going to college. I just wrote down, I'm a photographer. I wrote down a lot of things. I don't remember all of them, of course, but I was shocked to find out that they came true. And so I started writing stuff down again, and stuff comes true. Like everything I write down comes true. Common thing that people say when I say, hey, just write down these affirmations, say what you want, first person present tense, or even lately I've been trying third person present tense. I haven't seen any difference. Supposedly it's supposed to be helpful, but so then also, I created my Just Before Bed journal. And that has my Just Before Bed journal, and that has space in there for affirmations. Let me see. 22 January 2025. Excuse me. I'm hunting and fishing on my own land. Nope, that didn't come true. I'm selling 1 million books. That hasn't come true. I'm enjoying the benefits of being an entrepreneur. That hasn't come true. I'm weighing 238 pounds. That didn't come true either. This is a bad example. I'm earning $500K a year. I also read a book about 10xing. So a lot of these numbers that I wrote are actually 10 times what I really am looking for. Anyways, that's only a year old. Those affirmations are only a year old. But again, it works. If you look through my journals, you'll say like, I'm driving a Subaru. I'm in a Subaru now. I come into $1 million free and clear. Now, I haven't come into $1 million free and clear, but I've come into a lot. I've come into a lot here and there. And the thing about affirmations is you have to be specific. I once said that I want to live next to a body of water. I live next to a body of water. I'm thinking the ocean or a lake, where I can just go out and open my door and walk out onto the deck and just jump into the lake and have a beautiful, great time. One day I'm looking out the window of my apartment and I see this ugly ass, muddy ass Mississippi. And technically, that affirmation came true because I wasn't specific enough. I said I lived next to a body of water. Well, there you go. The universe gave me that body of water. It wasn't the one I was wanting, and I had to be specific enough. Specific. I learned that I had to be specific after that experience. But common thing that people say is, I don't believe in that. I tell the truth. If I say that I am rich, then that's lying. I only want to, I focus on reality. I'm being real. I'm not, make believe, blah, blah, blah. People are such haters on it. And sometimes I don't really have a response to that. Because I didn't have an actual why this works. Why does this work? I don't know for the longest time. I just told people, write it down, write these things, first person, present tense, as if you already have them, and those things will come true. Then there was, I don't know if you heard of Gary Vee. Gary Vee is another motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and he's been like, fuck that shit. I don't believe in that. You got to go out there and work for it. I don't believe in saying like all these positive affirmations. And I've always wanted to let him know that affirmations don't make things magically appear. Right? Saying I'm the owner of the Jets isn't going to magically make one day you're the owner of the Jets. What it will do is let you or allow you to see opportunities that will move you towards that goal. If you say like I am a good dresser, I dress well, right? You'll find things or opportunities that will pop up that will allow you to fulfill that goal, that affirmation. Like all of a sudden one day you'll be flipping through a magazine or maybe scrolling through, and you'll see the thing that you're looking for, like the outfit that you want, or something that will help you, a top 10 list about how to be best and, look good, fashion tips, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. It opens up these, your eyes, so to speak, to see these things. If you've ever thought about buying a new kind of car, like, I want to buy a Yukon XL. Or you buy a Yukon XL, and next thing you know, like your neighbor has one, you didn't even know that fool had one. Or they're all over the place. That's because of the Reticular Activation System. There is an explanation for all of this. Science-backed human body. This stuff actually works, and there's a scientific reason as to why. Reticular Activation System is basically a part of your brain that acts as a filter. And not a filter like an air filter for your car, a filter like a search filter, or a spreadsheet filter. Right? You click on these things that specifically you're looking for, and that's only the things you'll see. Now, your brain does this because there's sensory input from everything. We got our 5 senses, right? Smell, touch, taste, sight, hearing, whatever. So there's constantly input. There's constantly data being input into your brain through everything. And so what the reticular activation system does is eliminate things that you don't need. It prevents sensory overload. This may be a connection to ADHD. If your reticular activation system isn't working well or as it should, you get overstimulated because too much input's coming in. And that happens to me a lot. Anyways, so have you ever been in a busy crowd and heard someone say your name, and you look and there's some other fool named David? That's because that is one of your filters, your name. Other filters, I think, are like things that'll keep you safe, things that'll keep you alive, things that, you know, when danger is present, things that will do the opposite of that, I guess. And things of interest. So if you have interest in something, your brain will let these things through. Therefore, when you think about, I'm going to get a Honda Civic, and then you start seeing Honda Civics all over the goddamn place, or when this will explain why you think your phone is listening to you or Google is listening to you or whatever. This will explain it, because when you're like talking on the phone with your friend and you're like, is this a phone? When you're talking on your phone with your friend, like this, and you say like you're thinking about doing a colon cleanse, and then the next thing you see is an ad for a colon cleanse, it's not because they're listening to you. It's because you're, well, maybe a little bit, but it's that input is always there. That information is always there. You just don't see it because your brain like, nope, don't need it. As soon as you mention it and talk about it, your brain realizes, oh, this is something you're interested in. I'll let this input come in. I'll let this data come in. Next thing you know, colon blow. Ad. All right? So when you think about when you put your affirmations and you say these things every day, that allows you to see these opportunities that are going to help you advance towards them. That being said, it has negative effect. All right. If you're a Debbie Downer, right? If you're a Debbie Downer, if you're negative and like, why does this stuff always happen to me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm so, if this is, of course it happens to me. It's because you're fucking negative. And your brain can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not. Your brain can only say like, oh, I'm interested in shit that fucks up my life. So here we go. Abusive man, abusive woman, fucking drugs. Bad drugs, I guess. Good drugs are okay. It not only will allow you to see the things that you don't want to see because it's all you think about, because you're telling your brain that you have this interest in shit that's not good for you or that you don't want to have. I don't want to have this stuff. Your brain doesn't know the difference. All it sees is stuff. Oh, let it go. Let it go. I don't want an abusive husband. Brain's like, oh, all I heard was abusive husband. Let that information through. Not only does it impact you in your life, it'll impact other people in your life. Why is my husband a lazy piece of shit? Or you think, oh God, you're so lazy, like you don't do. And then, so what are you going to see? You're only going to see the things that confirm what you believe or that you're quote unquote interested in. Because That's what your brain is going to let in. Never mind all the other good stuff. Are you a type of person that does everything for everybody and nobody ever says, hey, wow, thanks a lot. You're really doing a bunch of shit. You know why? Because they don't fucking care. They don't care. They're only going to see what they perceive you as or what interests them. So when you go and do all this stuff and work your butt off and they don't care, they think you're kind of a dick, there's going to be that one time where you do something dickish, and that's what they're going to see. No matter all the good stuff. Dang it. Remember how they said people who like you will like you no matter what? People who don't like you will not like you no matter what? You can't change their mind. This is why. They are incapable of seeing you for those things that aren't pictured in their mind. They're incapable of seeing that. The data is there, they can't see it. Oh, you're a good person. Oh, wow. I've been accused of doing a lot of stuff in my life. I've lost a lot of jobs. I've lost a lot of friendships, relationships, all because of things that I didn't do. People perceive me as something, and they only saw those things that convict their feelings. And there's a reason for that, and that's the reticular activation system. Motherfucker. The other thing that has impact on your relationships, but this will have impact on your relationship with, is if you ever wonder, like, how the hell did you not see that? Are you dumb? Why can't you do this? Why don't you do this? I see this all the time. Do you see it? What's wrong with you? Why don't you do this? I did it. It's because it's because of their fucking brain doesn't allow them to see something that has no interest to them. I'll give you an example from my personal life is like, I see something that needs to be cleaned and can't believe that my wife didn't see it. She sees something that needs to be cleaned, and I'm clean as like picked up, like, hey, that's in the way, that's interfering, that should not be there. Okay, let's play it this way. There's something that shouldn't be there. How can you just pass by? I do it, my wife does it. Neither of us see the things that need to be done. We don't see it, and then each of us kind of gets pissed at the other one for not seeing it. That's because of your reticular activation system. You don't see it because your brain is not letting you see it. It's not because you're a lazy dick. It's because your brain literally doesn't care and will not let that data come in. Fucking genius.